Hiya, I'm Alvin Stardust. Do you know, it only seems like yesterday that I was sitting in the cinema, Mansfield, Granada, a long time ago, ready to watch a black and white movie called Love Me Tender. All of a sudden, Elvis Presley appeared on the scene. The whole cinema erupted. From that moment on, he changed my life, he stole my heart, and he became my idol. I've played rock and roll all my life, and I've made some recordings over the years in the 60s, 70s, 80s, even into the 90s. But a strange thing happened the other day. I was asked if I wanted to record a new album. Well, can you guess who the first person was I wanted to write about? Of course it was Elvis, my idol. So I thought I'd write about the way he actually knocked me off my feet when I first saw him, how it all came about. You see, my family are from the East End of London. My mum and dad used to live in the Mile End Road. And of course later, when I was a baby, I moved up north into Mansfield, a little mining town. From Mile End Road to Mansfield town. I went to St. Peter's little church school in the centre of town and was taught to read and write. And of course, as a small boy, very small boy, I went to the Saturday cinema in the morning. And I grew up on Roy Rogers and Gene Autry, the singing cowboys. It was the time of film superstars like Jimmy Dean, Marlon Brando, Steve McQueen, Brigitte Bardot, she's the one that all the boys used to dream about, Marilyn Monroe. Then some good old boys hit town, people like Eddie Cochran, Gene Vincent, Buddy Holly, Elvis Presley, Little Richard, Fats Domino, Jerry Lee Lewis. Every weekend if we went to the fair in the summer, the whole place was drowned out by records from these guys, especially on the waltzer and the carousel. It was a fantastic time to be alive and growing up. Great Hollywood movies, the birth of rock and roll. And then suddenly Elvis Presley came along. Well, he just blew us all out of the water. He stole our hearts and changed our lives. He changed my life forever. So the song I wrote for Elvis, I called My Sweet Elvis. And it was exactly what I've just told you about. The story of my life from Mile End Road to Mansfield Town, Brigitte Bardot, Marilyn Monroe, Jimmy Dean, Marlon Brando, Harleys, blues, Jack Daniels, all those things are in the song. It's my favourite song on the album. It's my tribute to my idol, Elvis Presley. I mentioned Jack Daniels, of course. He's been around in rock and roll, well, since rock and roll began. And every night, not many people know this, every night when we're doing a show, about 2 minutes before we're due on stage, me and the boys gather around like some good old boys and we crack a bottle of Jack, a couple of Cokes, and we toast the king. And then we hit the stage running. Well, towards the end of the recording session, I had about 20 minutes left and I said to the band, you know, we haven't got a real up-tempo rocker. So I said, give me a real up-tempo rocking beat. So the guitarist started playing. I scribbled down some words and we ended up with a song. We called it The Reverend Jack Daniels. You see, every time just before we go on stage, we say to the stage crew and everybody else, excuse me, we're just going to have our prayer meeting with the Reverend Jack Daniels. Listen, the album's out in April. It's on Universal Music. I hope you like the album. I particularly hope you like my favourite song on the album. It is, of course, My Sweet Elvis. As we all know, this is a special year. Elvis would have been 75 this year, so I'm going to be getting to loads of Elvis gatherings all over Europe whenever I can. So if you see me skulking around in the corner, don't be shy, come up, tap me on the shoulder and say, "Hi Alvin, what are you having?" No, I didn't mean that. Just come up and say hi and we'll have a chat. Be good to talk to you. All the best.